For those that have had a family member or someone you love and care for have a heart attack, had surgery, or had anything health related that was very, dangerous happen recently, well, keep on watching. What I'm gonna say here is very important because it's a different paradigm that people don't consider. It's a set of glasses that people don't really wear, so they don't see it. They don't see it everywhere, and it's the underlying issue of why all these heart attacks are happening, of why everybody's having health issues, of why there's such concern of health. But health will never be fixed if we keep on wearing the same set of glasses. We're going to have to wear a different set of glasses. We're going to have to change the paradigm to see what's really happening, why it's happening. Because we know what's happening, we just don't know why. In my experience, like, my doctors just did not even tell me why I had what I had. And everybody gets told the same thing. Oh, we don't know why you had a heart attack. Oh, we don't know why, your appendix was about to blow out and kill you. And it's funny because, people are told the appendix is not important. And that's totally not true. The appendix is part of your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system drains all the waste in your body. And if your body does not drain waste, what happens? Your appendix explodes. And, a lot of other stuff, clots. Blood clots is basically, just your body not being able to get rid of waste. If your body can't get rid of waste, it's going to find a place inside your body. You got acne, you got everything. There's a bunch of symptoms. But again, these are symptoms, not the root cause. And this is the difference between pharmaceutical medicine and, well, I would consider the other one real medicine. I can't say that, but, alternative medicine, traditional medicine, those names. Herbal medicine, herbal medicine, preventive medicine. That's what I was trying to say. There's a difference between preventive medicine and pharmaceutical medicine. Pharmaceutical medicine just silences out the symptoms. And when you're in great pain, maybe that works. It's a good quick fix to put a tape on, put a bandage on whatever bleed out, whatever you're going through. But long term, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be serious side effects, and the symptoms will just keep on coming back. Because like I said, if there's a serious symptom that you can't, it's causing a lot of pain, okay, take pharmaceutical medicine if that's what you want. And, get through that symptom as soon as possible, but then switch to preventive medicine. Because, the symptom will just keep on arising if you only take pharmaceutical medicine, because pharmaceutical medicine just silences out the symptom and doesn't attack the root cause. And if you don't attack the root cause, it's like, you're the weeds, you just take out the top, but you don't take the roots. And so in a week's time, or, whenever, the symptoms will just come back again. Or maybe they'll come back in different symptoms. Like, again, your body will find a place to store its waste if it can't drain it. And that's why the lymphatic system is very important. Let's focus on preventive medicine. You got herbs. You got, you could drink teas. Mixing your foods right. Specific stuff, specific leaves, specific herbs that will help you out long run. This is long run medicine, long term medicine. You have to be consistent. You can't just start taking herbs when you have serious health issues. You have to do it way before. That's why it's called preventive medicine. It's not, with all these diseases like cancer, etc., tumors, all these serious ones, preventive medicine is not a quick fix because it's realistic. You can't attack the root causes as quick as that. Like maybe initially when in the beginning stages when the root cause is coming up, but when it gets very serious, it's hard to attack a root cause. And that's why, pharmaceutical medicine, these pharmaceutical procedures seem so great, because on the short run, they look like they work. They look like it's a quick fix, especially for serious situations, especially surgery, sometimes that's the only option. But then let's say you go through surgery, get this quick fix, then you gotta switch to preventive medicine because again, you had surgery for a reason because there were serious symptoms. There's a serious root cause that was not dealt with. And now that you know that there is a serious issue going with your body, that's when you start attacking the root cause through preventive medicine slowly and being consistent with it. And that's gonna help you out. Slowly and steadily. Whatever that root cause is will diminish and go away. But again, it takes a lot of discipline, and it's hard, even for me, sometimes I make mistakes. Like I know I should be on top of it because I had some issue. And not only that, everybody should be on top of it just to have good health, especially in a system where there's a lot of junk food everywhere. And, you just got to watch out. You just got to put the right lenses on. And once you put the right lenses on, you'll see what is poison and what is not. Like now I look at my herbs and I'm like, oh my God, these are the good guys. I want to be friends with these guys. And then I walk through the grocery aisle, and I'm like, oh my God, this is venom. I can't eat this. And I watch other people eating it, and I'm like, oh man, they're not wearing the right glasses. But I understand, this is why I make these YouTube videos. I don't want to scare people. Because that's not the right way to go about it. I don't want to be like, yo, it's the end of the world. If you don't start eating healthy right now and change everything that you're doing, you're gonna die. That's not what's gonna happen. But what I do say here is just to raise consciousness, to be like, yo, there's good research behind this. There's historical proof that herbs work best. That fruits work best. That real food works best, especially in the long run. Again, cancer and all that stuff, they tell you, it's because we're living so much older than back then. That's, how would I say in simple terms, that's bullshit. Because everybody's got cancer, from a 2-year-old to baby. So these are not like, oh, we're living so much older, so the body's decaying and it causes these diseases. No, that's totally not it, because I'm 20 and I had surgery, and I have friends that had surgeries, and there's a lot of us. And, so we have to be realistic here. So again, that's why preventive medicine is important, because we're noticing that our bodies are not behaving accordingly due to the system that we're living in. And, we can't really do much about the system, but we can do a lot about what goes inside of our bodies, what we're using inside our homes. And that's what I want to say out here, like, hey, look, I know if you go to, I don't know, wherever, who cares, your job, maybe they're going to do things that you don't like, and that you notice that maybe it's not healthy. But you make the final decision of what goes inside of your body. And inside your house, what you cook with, what you clean with, those decisions you make. And that's when, that's the right steps going forward. That's the small steps, little by little, you're not going to change everything at your house. And I tried that with my mother, and, I kind of made her go a little bit crazy because I was just being I was being very intense because, maybe not an ego thing, maybe it was, I took it very personal if she wouldn't want to change things, because I was like, hey, look what mom, look what went through me, look what look what happened to me, and I don't want that to happen to anybody. I don't want that to happen to me again. So we have to change everything. But you have to respect boundaries, and people will wake up. I realize that consciousness is coming up, and it's necessary for this world to change, to be better. Like, people waking up. So that's why I'll be posting these videos, for the people out there. Peace and love. And but again, I hope you start considering more about preventive medicine. Like, it's not like a quick fix again. So you have to be consistent. You have to get your herbs, you have to get your fruits, you have to get your vegetables, and you have to find good sources for all of them. Especially if you're going to go with milk, especially if you're going to go with meat, especially if you're going to go with eggs, all these stuff, you have to be very careful where you source them from. But that's it, man. That's all I'm going to say, man. Herb up. That's all. Peace.